I remember one time I read Proverbs 16:9. It says, "For your heart chooses path, but the Lord directs your steps." I remember seeing that and I was like, "Seriously, God, what's that supposed to mean?" It's real funny how I never expected to get an answer back. It was about a week or two later. I get invited over to a friend's house, and he starts telling a story of his grandparents when they were in World War II. What had happened was they each kept a journal of certain events that ended up happening while they were separated. So whenever they got back together after the war, they put the two journals together and they realized that this one event happened at exactly the same time. What had happened was the grandmother woke up in the middle of the night and knew she had to pray with all her heart. She didn't know for what reason, for what. She just knew she had to. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, her husband was given a package. Here you go. You need to go drop this off some platoon some distance away. So, he takes off, and I remember imagining, it was at night or something like that, and he finally gets to the location, and he gives the sergeant the package. He's like, "Here you go." And the guy's like, "Oh, thanks." He's like, "So, where'd you come through?" He's like, "Oh, I came from over here and over here and over here and over here." And the guy's like, "Nah, dude, you're mistaken. You must came from over here." He's like, "No." He's like, "I know exactly where I came from. I came through over here and over here." Starts describing the passage and very, descriptive. And the guy's like, "I don't believe you." He's like, "Well, what do you mean you don't believe me?" He's like, "Because that passage you're talking about is filled with landmines." I was totally blown away, how it says, God had answered my prayer. For your heart chooses path, but the Lord directs your steps. And it was funny because I had actually directed my question to God. I was like, seriously, what's that supposed to mean? I never expected I was going to get an answer back. So I remember I hear that story Friday, and that later on the weekend passed. About Monday or Wednesday came around, and one of my customers gives me a call. And so I actually transport oil field equipment, and I got a dually and a 40-foot flatbed, and I had to go pick up something from Texas City, and take it down to San Antonio. So I get to location. I park on the side of the street because they're gonna load up some generators on top of my trailer, and I remember loading them up. And the whole time, as I'm loading up, strapping things down, I'm all thinking, it's like, wow, how's this guy, going through the jungle or going through wherever he's about to, and he's about to step on landmine, and he probably hears a cricket, and it turns the other way. So that's pretty much what's going on in my mind as I'm working and stuff like that. So I remember I strapped everything down. I was done with with strapping everything on my trailer, and I step on the edge of the trailer because I'm about to jump off. Now, remind you, my trailer is about 3 feet 3 inches off the ground, so it takes a little jump off. And as I'm about to jump off, I see something bright in my peripheral vision. I was like, "Whoa, what was that?" So I take one step back, and I look at the strap, and I shake it, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, everything's tight." I was like, "All right, cool." So I take my foot back on the edge of the trailer to jump off, and as I put my foot on the edge, boom! This car comes this close from hitting the trailer, and I was just, it reminded me back again. I was like, wow, if I would have taken that step right whenever I was about to jump off, dude, that car would have hit me. I would have gone underneath the trailer. Who would have known what? I mean, I'm sure that guy was going like 50 or 60 miles an hour, and that's what it took, one step to come back. So it made me realize a little bit more understanding of what his words means. For your heart chooses path, but the Lord directs your steps.